Yeah, got any show for y'all.
Got a damn good show. And I might I say, every time I see a dude with an afro, that's a red flag for me.
Well, not only that, a kente cloth. This is a cultural item of Ghana and Africa.
Yeah.
And whenever I see a Black American wearing this,
you already know he's woke.
Right. So,
hey, if y'all support what we do, go to officialhorsetwins.com. Get you one of these patriotic T-shirts. Don't forget, every time you buy from our website, you get automatically in our new giveaway, which is a Ford Raptor and $10,000 in cash.
Yeah, but so this guy proposed a bill.
Uh-oh. A bill to take away rights, right?
Pretty much. Like in Tennessee, this is the Tennessee State House, and he's a rep for Tennessee out of the Memphis area. Mm-hmm. He proposed a new law you need a permit to have a gun. They voted it down, said, no, we're not going to make it a law where you have to have a permit to have a gun.
Let's go into this a little deeper. This is a black guy wearing a kente cloth with the black power afro, but he was voted in by who?
Memphis, Tennessee. Yeah, it's like
he got voted in by a bunch of mouth-breathing knuckle draggers. And look what he voted for.
Yeah, that's how all these people get in office, because they're a great representation of their constituency base. But anyway, this dude goes off and he actually gets in the face of a Republican. But anyway, he proposed a bill, they voted it down, and he's giving a speech.
And all this, I know every member in this committee's been here this year working during committee, during session, voting on bills.
Yes, sir.
And I know you may have some things going on, but you have not. So I don't think it's fair for you to come in front of this committee and lecture us on hard work and convictions and hard work for our committee. So when I understand where you're at and what you're doing and why, but at the end of the day, we've been here working. We've been on the House floor voting on bills. We've taken the tough questions. We've taken the tough votes.
Yeah.
And we're doing so. So I don't think it's fair for you to come here and lecture this committee on hard work when we've been up here doing the hard work.
Thank you, Chair Farmer, for your comments. They incense me. They make me very, very angry. Very angry. Not just because of the lack of regard, but the disrespect and the same denigrating tone that you used on the State House floor when the vote to expel me happened. It's disrespectful. It's unbecoming, and it's beneath the standard of a person who's supposed to represent in the Tennessee House.
This guy's in the theatrics. Right. He's all about political theater, so that's why he got this prior history with this guy.
Right.
And a lot of times he takes everything. He just turns the House, their body, into like bedlam. It's like chaos.
Right.
It's like everything's a protest for him.
Now I think that I forget his name, the white guy,
Representative Farmer.
Yeah, Representative Farmer. I think his response was not disrespectful. Yeah. It sounds like to me he just lectured him about good hard work and being there and putting in the time and the effort to, to pass and ask the difficult question, things like that, right? So it sounds like to me he just got lectured from this guy who hasn't been there.
Yeah, he hasn't been there for a while.
Yeah.
Because of a tragedy in his family, but he's going to get into that.
House of Representatives. It is a pathetic excuse for you to not answer the question of why we are doing nothing about the gun violence epidemic than to personally attack me. But let me explain to you what I have been doing, Representative, since you asked. My brother, Temperance Darnell Pearson, one of the loves of my life, passed away from gun suicide on December 1st of 2024. And since that happened, it shattered my family like gun violence has shattered so many families. Shattered my nephew's lives, my mother, my father, my other brothers who are remaining. I buried my brother. I planned for his entire funeral. My fiance made his obituary. I made sure that he was taken care of, even in death. That's what I've been doing. But also, not just that, I went to all of my nephew's schools. I met with their principals and their teachers to ensure that they are okay. I gave them and made sure that they had grief counseling and that they're seeing a psychiatrist. That's what I've been doing. And while you're talking about hard...
So he's been doing all of that. He hasn't been working.
Yeah, but everybody has got problems they're working on in their own personal lives.
Yeah.
You shouldn't bring that inside of the House in Tennessee.
Yeah.
What's that got to do with a bill recommended that people have a permit to have a firearm in their home?
Yeah.
It's just theatrics.
Yeah.
And
you need to realize that our job is...
Yeah.
Not just in this state house with these marble floors. Our jobs are on the streets and in the communities that we serve. And so while you've been here passing bills that have been hurting transgender children, while you've been here passing bills that have been hurting the poor, hurting the marginalized, hurting the disenfranchised, while you've been here passing bills that have not ended poverty, while you've been here passing bills that have not helped people who need medical.
He's an activist.
Yeah. Yeah.
Look at this white man's face right there.
Yeah, he's like, man, I'm so sick of this. I mean, everybody's face is like, man, come on, man. How you going to pass a bill to end poverty?
How you go? And that whole transgender kids, that's just an oxymoron. Those two should not go together.
Yeah.
You got to be a sick and twisted individual to think there's such thing as a trans child.
Yeah.
But look at that dude's face, Zucker's face.
That says it all.
That is the picture. That's the textbook definition of black fatigue.
Let's call it Democrat fatigue. Just tired of these people.
Medicaid expansion while you've been here doing the hard work of making sure that our state is not the state that it can be because you have decided.
Representative Pearson.
Reality of our situation is only to be.
Fatigue.
Representative Pearson.
While you've been here doing that, I've been in my community.
Representative Pearson.
Meeting with young people, going to school, registering
Representative Pearson.
voters. That's what I've been doing. Hard work.
He's clout
That's just
chasing.
happened. Witness legislation.
Yeah,
He's clout chasing.
they're showing a lot of their patience with this guy. Yeah.
Representative Pearson.
And if you will, Chairman, just one more minute, because Chairman Farmer seems to think that he somehow
Representative Pearson.
seems to understand my life better than I do. You need to understand that hard work isn't just sitting there and shutting up and passing a bill. It's doing the hard work of justice and love and mercy.
Okay.
You hear these women voters.
Black women.
Yeah, they're white women too. This is women voters.
Yeah.
It's just how women
black
think.
and white, yeah.
And the marginalized, and it's taking your
All right.
and your pain and your heartache, and it's standing in front of people who you know may not like you, standing in front of people who you know will disrespect you, people who you know will talk down to you.
That's so disrespectful, just sitting there pointing at somebody like that.
Mm-hmm. And they tried over and over, hey, you need to stop talking.
Yeah.
He keeps talking.
Yeah.
It's saying in the honor of people like Mugclub, in the honor of people who have died from gun violence, in the honor of people who have died from suicide, we need to pass better laws.
Representative Pearson.
And fight for a state where everybody is able to live more freely from.
How is a permit going to keep that from happening?
Yeah, I know.
They're going to ask you a question. Are you going to kill yourself with it? Or, I mean, it's just
People, I mean, these gun laws, they only restrict, law-abiding citizens. It doesn't restrict a criminal from actually doing some harm with a gun.
yeah,
So proposing a permit for somebody to own a gun is just stupid.
yeah.
My family are experiencing. That's what you need to think about, Chairman Farmer. Come on. And if you can't think that, learn to shut up.
All right. All right.
He said, if you don't understand that, learn to shut up.
Oh, women.
Yeah, you heard
All
me?
right. Ladies and gentlemen.
Look, women.
Learn to shut up.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Learn to shut up. And then this happens.
Hey, Representative Pearson. No, sir. No, sir.
Don't touch him. Do not touch him.
You hear the women, don't touch him. Don't touch him. They talk about him. Women.
They said it makes sense. Don't touch him. I'm thinking they're talking about Representative
No,
Farmer,
they're-
right? But no, they're talking about y'all touching the black guy.
Yeah, those are the women that was up front clapping for his.
Right. He's not
Won't
allowed
speak.
back there.
Yeah. And he's getting in his face. Man, just look at this.
Do not touch him. Do not
Don't you ever come out to me and my family.
God, Farmer, please stop.
Did he come after him?
Take care of him, Justin. Come on.
You know, there's that. They're mocking Farmer as he's walking up. Bob Farmer. Bob Farmer, that was the guy he was talking to.
Yeah, Representative Farmer.
Come on, Justin. Come on, Justin. You're okay.
Nut job.
Well, it makes sense. Look who voted him in Memphis.
Yeah. I mean, I understand he's going through a bunch of trauma, but
Yeah, but you should never behave like that.
yeah. Wasn't Farmer's fault. And sound like he hasn't been to work. I understand it's a tragedy, but life does move on. And for you to come up there and lecture people about hard work
Yeah.
when you haven't been there. So
Right.
he lectured you on about hard work.
Yeah.
And look how you respond.
Yeah.
He remained calm, peaceful, and stoic
Yeah.
the whole time.
Yeah.
And look at him.
Yeah. And that's actually, that was a good response for him. It's like,
Yeah.
how dare you come in here and lecture us about hard work?
Yeah, when they've been doing the work, he
Yeah.
has it.
Yeah. You should never talk down or patronize anybody. You might disagree with somebody, but you come in there and you feel like you the God Almighty talking about hard work, and when you haven't been there, I understand what happened to you and your family. But man, passing a gun permit, it's not going to keep people from taking a firearm and doing harm to themselves or to another person.
Yeah.
He got the gun legally. To get a gun, you have to go through a background check.
Yeah.
But you want a permit on top of a background check? That doesn't make any sense.
Yeah. Just to have the audacity to just put your finger in somebody's face repeatedly while you're giving your woke speak, and then to get in their face and do it.
Yeah, when you see a black man wearing his hair like that,
And this,
and he's wearing a kente cloth,
Yeah.
he's not a true American. He's going to be an activist.
wasting everybody's time. This dude is not doing anything for Memphis. That's his district.
Yeah.